Have you ever felt tired after breakfast, even if it was just a small bowl of porridge or a piece of bread? If that has ever happened to you, then this video is made just for you. And the seventh point shared at the end might truly surprise you. There's something few people notice. The familiar foods from our younger days can sometimes become a burden for the body once we reach our 60s. The older we get, the more sensitive we become to food, not just in terms of taste, but also in how we feel after eating. A dish that once made us feel energized might now leave us feeling achy, bloated, or lacking the strength to start a new day. That's because as we age, our digestive system slows down. Digestive enzymes are produced in smaller amounts. The stomach weakens, and nutrient absorption is no longer what it used to be. Hormones change. Biological rhythms shift. But eating habits, they often remain the same. This creates a kind of mismatch between what the body needs and how we are caring for it. Eating the wrong kind of breakfast not only disrupts digestion, but also affects blood pressure, blood sugar, memory, and even our mood for the entire day. A wrong breakfast might leave you sluggish, uncomfortable, slightly irritable, and rob you of the joy of living. But don't worry, you don't need to change everything. Just a few small adjustments can already make a big difference. In this video, I'll be sharing 10 common breakfast mistakes among older adults. And especially the final principle is the key to helping you listen to your body more sensitively. If you're over 60, please leave the number 1 in the comments below so we know you're here, walking this journey with us. And if you feel this message truly speaks to you, don't forget to hit the subscribe button for Senior Compass, so you won't miss any gentle and meaningful tips for your health journey in your golden years. 1. Greasy start. There's a scent many of us grew up with, the warm, tempting aroma of deep-fried foods. Fried buns, spring rolls, crispy sticky rice, grilled pork vermicelli. All of these dishes bring back memories of rushed mornings, holding a hot banh mi in hand, heart light and ready for work or school. But as we enter our 60s and 70s, our bodies no longer handle these foods with the same ease. Fried foods are prepared by soaking ingredients in high-temperature oil, which transforms fats into forms that are harder to digest. For the elderly, whose digestive systems are weaker, with slower enzyme production and reduced intestinal motility, greasy foods become a real burden. The body has to work overtime to break down these fats, often leaving us tired after eating, bloated, uncomfortable, or suffering from heartburn throughout the morning. Many still hold on to habits from their youth. If I don't eat enough, I won't have energy to do anything. But in reality, as we age, our bodies need lighter meals, not for the sake of restriction, but to better listen to ourselves. Eating too much fat in the morning doesn't provide energy. It just leaves the body sluggish and uninspired to start the day. Many elderly people have developed high blood pressure, lipid disorders, or colitis after beginning their mornings with a plate of fried delicacies. Even more concerning, reused cooking oil, especially at food stalls or restaurants, can produce harmful substances like aldehydes or inflammatory compounds. These toxins silently affect liver and cardiovascular function and may contribute to long-term chronic diseases. That's something older adults must be especially cautious of, as our body's ability to correct mistakes diminishes with age. You might be asking, so what should I eat for breakfast that's still tasty and not boring? The answer is plenty. A warm bowl of vegetable soup, smooth oatmeal porridge, or whole grain bread with steamed eggs and fresh greens are all light yet nutritious options. If you're craving those nostalgic fried foods, you can still enjoy them, but choose healthier preparations, like using an air fryer, pure fresh vegetable oils, and keeping portions small and occasional. Try to tune into your body. When you eat fried food, do you feel vibrant, or do you just want to lie down and do nothing? Everyone has their own rhythm, and at this age, That rhythm deserves to be heard and cared for more attentively. Starting your morning with a light, oil-free meal is a way to give yourself a gift of love, because your body doesn't have to fight oil. It gets to rest gently, like the soft morning sun. It's not just a meal, it's a way of living, lighter, cleaner, and kinder to yourself each day. 2. Sweet trap. Some mornings we want to begin gently, so we reach for a sweet pastry, a glass of sweetened milk, or a quick fruit yogurt. Sweet, soft, easy to eat. These foods feel like a little indulgence for ourselves. But, sometimes, that very sweetness becomes a hidden trap for the aging body. At age 60 or 70, our body no longer processes sugar as swiftly as it did in our 20s. Back then, a glass of sweet iced tea or a morning pastry might have made us alert and cheerful. But as we grow older, insulin, the hormone that regulates blood sugar, becomes less effective. As a result, our blood sugar spikes quickly after eating, only to crash just as fast, leaving us tired, foggy, with a racing heart, or even lightheadedness. Older adults who consume too much sugar in the morning may experience being full but still hungry, mentally unfocused, or feeling hungry again just a few hours later. Over time, this habit significantly increases the risk of type 2 diabetes, a chronic condition now common in older age. And it's not just the sugar in obvious sweets. It's hidden in seemingly healthy options. Sweetened milk, instant, cereal, bottled fruit juices, even flavored yogurts. Many products marketed as diet-friendly are actually full of artificial sweeteners, which aren't beneficial for the nervous or digestive systems of seniors. The key isn't to eliminate sweetness entirely, but to change the source of sweetness. A few slices of ripe banana, a few segments of orange, or a teaspoon of pure honey can provide gentle, natural sugars the body can absorb more easily. Fresh fruit offers natural sugar, fiber, and vitamins that release energy gradually, without spiking your blood sugar like processed sweets do. Many seniors still eat jam-filled toast or sweetened milk in the morning, but then they find themselves short of breath, drained, or lacking the energy to do housework. These are signs your body is gently urging you to adjust. No need to be drastic, just attentive. Ask yourself, did this breakfast make me feel energized or tired? If the answer is more tired than before, that sweetness may no longer be serving you. And once you begin to adjust, your body will thank you. Choose sweetness from the earth, from ripe fruit, from whole grains, from love for yourself. A less sugary, more nutrient-rich breakfast will brighten your mind, stabilize your mood, and make the whole day feel lighter. Sweetness. You don't need a lot. Just the right kind, at the right time, in the way your body needs now. Because you're no longer living just to endure. You're living to enjoy each morning, peacefully and completely. 3. Empty start. There are some mornings when the air is chilly, our hearts feel empty, and our stomachs, not hungry. Maybe we're sleepy, tired, or simply unsure what to eat. So we skip breakfast, thinking, it's okay. Eating or not eating doesn't really matter. But for older adults, skipping breakfast isn't a harmless choice. It may actually trigger a chain of effects that last the whole day. When we're younger, the body can adapt easily to skipping meals. Some even use it as a weight loss method. But past age 60, everything becomes more sensitive. The liver no longer stores energy as efficiently. Blood sugar drops more quickly. Blood pressure may fluctuate unexpectedly. And just one morning without food can leave us dizzy, shaky, or with a racing heartbeat. Skipping breakfast places the body in a state of silent hunger. Mental focus fades, memory becomes foggy, and the body moves sluggishly, as if missing its spark. This is especially risky for older adults, as early morning energy deficiencies increase the risk of falls, household accidents, or sudden drops in blood pressure, even fainting. Moreover, when we skip breakfast, we tend to compensate at lunch or dinner. But by afternoon and evening, the digestive system is winding down. Eating heavily at that time leads to bloating, poor sleep, and metabolic imbalances. It becomes a vicious cycle. Skipping breakfast causes overeating later, disrupting biological rhythms and making us not want to eat again the next morning. Some elderly people believe, if I'm not hungry, I shouldn't eat, or I'll eat something with my medicine. But the moment you're not hungry is actually when you should eat something light, to gently wake up the stomach and set the foundation for steady energy throughout the day. And if you're taking medication, having something in your stomach is even more important to protect the stomach lining from irritation. If you've been skipping breakfast out of habit or indecision, start with simple choices. A slice of whole grain bread, a ripe banana, a warm glass of milk with a few grains. It doesn't have to be elaborate, just present, just enough to tell your body, I care about you. I'm giving you a gentle start to the day. You might ask, do I really need breakfast when I seem fine without it? The answer might lie in how you feel after 9 a.m. Do you feel alert, light, energized enough to go shopping, read, or enjoy a chat with loved ones? If not, then a light, regular breakfast may be the gift you need to give yourself each day. Breakfast is not just a meal. It's a greeting to your body. It's your way of saying, I still love this life, and I want to begin today with tenderness. And when you no longer skip breakfast, you're also no longer skipping yourself. 4. Milk misstep. Early in the morning, just as sunlight peeks through the window, many of us follow an old habit. Pouring a warm glass of milk, sipping a few gulps to line the stomach, then taking our medication or getting ready for the day. It seems simple, convenient, and full of nutrition. But for older adults, drinking milk on an empty stomach might not be as gentle as we think. Milk, whether it's cow's milk, soy milk, or nut milk, is a rich source of nutrients, including protein, calcium, vitamin D, and essential minerals for bones, heart health, and the immune system. However, the aging body isn't always ready to absorb such a dense nutritional load when the stomach is still empty. When milk is consumed on an empty stomach, especially cold milk, gastric juices may become diluted, disrupting digestion. For seniors with already weak digestive systems, this often leads to bloating, mild nausea, diarrhea, or a lingering sense of discomfort throughout the morning. Particularly when milk is taken with medications, it may interfere with the absorption rate or even reduce the effectiveness of certain drugs. Moreover, not everyone knows whether they are lactose intolerant, a condition where the body cannot digest lactose, the sugar in milk. This condition is common among Asians and tends to increase with age. Drinking milk on an empty stomach in such cases can lead to gas, cramping, or diarrhea, even with types of milk that seem familiar and safe. Many older adults still believe a glass of milk in the morning is more nourishing than porridge. But in reality, milk only truly delivers its benefits when paired with a light meal, such as a slice of bread, a few spoonfuls of oatmeal, or half a banana. This gives the stomach a cushion to absorb the nutrients without irritation. Iffy. You've ever felt uneasy, gassy, or unsettled after drinking milk on an empty stomach? That's not a coincidence. It's a gentle message from your body saying, please be kinder to me. So instead of reaching for milk first thing in the morning, try beginning with a few spoonfuls of thin porridge, a slice of toasted bread, or a ripe banana. Once the stomach feels warmed and ready, a warm glass of milk becomes a soothing lullaby for both your gut and your heart. Milk remains a treasured friend in old age, supporting strong bones, mental clarity, and glowing skin. But like all good friends, it must be invited at the right time and in the right way, or it may become a source of discomfort. A warm glass of milk, enjoyed after a light breakfast, can bring a sense of calm and comfort, a gentle beginning to a peaceful and fulfilling day. And that, though seemingly small, is one of the deepest ways to show self-love that aging truly deserves. 5. Egg overload. Eggs, simple yet nutritious, familiar to generations. Just one boiled egg with a dash of salt and pepper can make a wholesome breakfast. For older adults, eggs often become a top choice due to their convenience, softness, easy-to-swallow texture, and time-saving nature. Yet like any food, when consumed in excess, even something good can silently become a burden on health. Each egg contains around 200 milliliters of cholesterol, most of which is in the yolk. Though eggs provide valuable nutrients like protein, choline, vitamin D, and iron, for those over 60, when liver function begins to decline and fat metabolism slows, the high cholesterol in egg yolks may increase the risk of dyslipidemia, atherosclerosis, and cardiovascular disease. Many seniors still hold the belief, eggs are nutritious, the more the better. Some eat 2 to 3 eggs every morning, boiled, fried, or steamed, out of habit and the belief that they're good for bones and the brain. But the body at this age no longer needs as much protein as before. Excess protein forces the liver and kidneys to work harder, potentially raising liver enzyme levels, causing insomnia, or triggering long-term digestive issues. What's even more concerning is that the feeling of nothing seems wrong after eating eggs daily leads to complacency. But damage in the body doesn't always show immediate symptoms. For some, it's only after getting their cholesterol tested, blood pressure measured, or undergoing an ultrasound that they're shocked by the silent accumulations over the years. That doesn't mean eggs need to be eliminated. The key is balance. For healthy older adults, consuming 2 to 3 eggs per week is considered safe and reasonable. Boiled is better than fried, to avoid unnecessary fats. If eaten more frequently, it's advisable to stick to egg whites. Rich in protein, but free from cholesterol. Eggs can also be paired with leafy greens like spinach or bok choy, or with tomatoes, adding flavor while supplying fiber and vitamins for smoother digestion. A steamed egg with vegetables, or a thin omelet without oil served with salad, is a great choice for a healthy breakfast. Ask yourself, do I eat eggs because I believe they're good, or just out of old habits I haven't reconsidered? When we begin to reevaluate our habits with new understanding, we start living with the body we have now, not the one from 30 years ago. 1 egg a week, eaten at the right time and in the right way, can be a gift. But 3 eggs a day, without careful thought, may become a burden. And in our golden years, the goal is no longer to eat to the fullest, but to eat with lightness, balance, and sufficiency. Because sometimes, just enough is the kindest thing we can offer our body, after a lifetime of worry. 6. Refined carb caution. A steaming bowl of crab noodle soup, a plate of tender steamed rice rolls, or a slice of freshly baked white bread. These are everyday breakfast favorites for many Vietnamese people. Quick, convenient, and easy to eat. Especially for older adults, with weakened teeth and changing taste buds, refined carbs seem even more appealing. But few realize that these familiar comfort foods, when overconsumed, become sweet fatigue in disguise. Refined. Carbohydrates are those that have been milled, stripping away the bran and germ, where much of the fiber and nutrients reside. What's left is a whiter, softer starch, but one that has lost nearly all its health benefits. Once consumed, refined carbs quickly convert to sugar, causing blood sugar to spike, then drop suddenly, leaving you hungry again, sluggish, and low on energy mid-morning. Young people can often handle these fluctuations. But after 60, when the pancreas is tired and insulin less effective, flooding the body with refined carbs in the morning becomes a real strain. Constant blood sugar swings may lead to dizziness, shaky hands, poor focus, and over time, increase the risk of type 2 diabetes, weight gain, and high cholesterol. Many seniors still believe in eating large bowls of noodles or bread to feel full in the morning. But fullness that leaves you tired, is it truly fulfilling? Full, yet your heart races, you yawn endlessly, and you feel sleepy all morning. These are signs of an unbalanced meal. Moreover, breakfasts heavy in refined carbs often lack protein and fiber, two critical elements for maintaining muscle, mass, preventing constipation, and stabilizing blood sugar. Repeated meals of only noodles, PHO, instant noodles, or white bread, without vegetables or plant-based proteins, result in a condition of being full yet lacking, full stomachs, but deficient in essential nutrients. So what's the solution? It's not about eliminating traditional dishes, but about adding healthier elements. Swap white bread for whole grain. Enjoy oatmeal with nut milk and banana slices. Try whole grain pasta with steamed eggs and vegetables. These small changes won't take away the familiar flavors. They'll make your breakfast more balanced. You'll feel full longer, more mentally alert, and your body won't need to struggle to balance energy levels after eating. Ask yourself, did this breakfast make me feel lighter or more drained? If the answer leans toward heaviness, perhaps it's time for a gentle shift. You don't need fancy meals or expensive foods, just a clear understanding of what your body needs and doesn't. Carbs aren't the enemy, but anything excessive becomes a burden. And aging is about living just enough so that each morning meal becomes an act of love, not an unconscious habit. Starting the day with something light yet nourishing is how you tell your body, I understand you, I honor you, and I won't tire you out anymore. And in that way, each breakfast becomes a gentle blessing for both body and soul. 7. Salty start. Some flavors stay with us for life, like a familiar melody. A bite of salted dried fish, a crunchy piece of pickled vegetable, a bowl of plain porridge with soy sauce, or even a slice of braised pork belly. For many seniors, breakfast doesn't feel complete without something savory to stimulate the appetite. But the very habits we hold dear are sometimes the quiet culprits behind our health struggles. And salt, in many cases, is that silent killer. After age 60, the body's ability to excrete sodium, salt, through the kidneys declines significantly. Blood pressure becomes more sensitive and easily affected by meals. Eating salty foods in the morning, just as blood pressure naturally rises with the body's circadian rhythm, places additional strain on the heart. Persistent headaches, facial warmth, a racing heart, or lightheadedness may not stem from weather or poor sleep, but from an overly salty breakfast. Seniors often say, "It's just a little fish sauce. What harm could it do?" But that little, repeated daily, builds up. A few pieces of pickled vegetables, a spoonful of caramelized anchovies, a bowl of soup with strong fish sauce, or even some salty vegetarian dishes, all contribute to elevated sodium in the bloodstream. When we start the day salty, the body must work all day to maintain balance, overburdening the heart and kidneys. Salty breakfasts also cause water retention, a heavy feeling, mild facial puffiness, and indigestion. For those with high blood pressure, kidney issues, or heart conditions, starting the day with salty foods is like adding a brick to an already heavy wall. But this doesn't mean breakfast must be bland or flavorless. On the contrary, you can still eat deliciously without eating salty. Instead of relying on fish sauce, salt, or soy sauce, try enhancing flavor with herbs like scallions, Vietnamese coriander, dill, or a bit of black pepper, toasted, garlic, or slices of fresh ginger. These natural seasonings not only boost flavor but also aid digestion, warm the body, and make food more vibrant. For example, oatmeal cooked with mushrooms and scallions, seasoned with vegetable broth instead of fish sauce, or whole grain toast with nut butter and fresh greens, are tasty, heart-friendly choices. And if you truly crave something savory, save it for lunch, when the body is better prepared to handle it. Try asking yourself, after this breakfast, do I feel light or do I feel a bit of a headache? Your body will answer honestly. Sometimes, simply cutting back a little salt can reduce a major hidden health risk. Growing older doesn't mean you have to eat blandly as punishment. It means becoming more refined, more attuned to your body. So each breakfast doesn't bring momentary pleasure followed by all-day fatigue. Choose a gentler way to eat, because you deserve to begin your day in peace, not under silent pressure. A light morning starts with a light meal, one that soothes both the heart and the spirit. 8. Coffee caution. In the quiet of early morning, before the world fully awakens, a hot cup of coffee is a cherished companion for many older adults. A sip seems to slow time, clear the mind. Its rich aroma and gentle bitterness evoke memories of youth, a habit we've carried for decades. But coffee, familiar as it may be, is not always gentle, especially when consumed on an empty stomach. As we age, the digestive system becomes more sensitive. The stomach lining weakens and is more easily irritated. Drinking coffee before eating causes the stomach to secrete more acid, increasing gastric acidity. When this happens regularly, you may experience dull pain in the upper abdomen, nausea, acid reflux, or even chronic gastritis, without realizing the cause. Beyond digestion, coffee can also affect the nervous system. In a fasting state, blood sugar levels are typically low. Introducing caffeine at this moment stimulates the adrenal glands to release cortisol, the stress hormone. As a result, you may feel jittery, anxious, have a racing heart, or difficulty concentrating. For seniors already at higher risk for hypertension, heart conditions, osteoporosis, or sleep disorders, starting the day with lonely coffee might not be a gentle choice. Many people insist, "I'll drink coffee first to feel alert." Eating can wait. But the alertness you feel is caffeine forcibly waking up your body. Once its effect wears off, you may feel even more tired, experience blood sugar crashes, and unstable blood pressure, leading to lightheadedness or mental fog. That's the quiet cost we pay for a habit that seems harmless. So what's the solution? Should we give up coffee? Not at all. Coffee, when enjoyed at the right time in the right way, can still be a good friend. Just make sure to eat something first. A slice of whole grain bread, a banana, or a bit of thin porridge. This creates a soft cushion in the stomach, allowing it to receive caffeine more gently. You might also try low-caffeine varieties, or switch to decaf, if you often feel unwell after drinking coffee. Instead of a full mug, consider sipping a small cup. Enjoy it as a ritual, slowly and mindfully. Ask yourself, did this morning's coffee make me feel calm or restless? The answer reveals what your body truly needs. Getting older doesn't mean giving up what you love. It means doing it more gently and kindly. Coffee isn't wrong. It just needs to be invited to the table at the right moment. Let your coffee be a reward after breakfast, not a test for an empty stomach. That way, you'll begin the day not just alert, but grateful for yourself and for the small loving habits that are slowly transforming. 9. Cold water. Wake up. On hot summer mornings, when the sun has yet to rise fully and the air is already thick, many people reach into the fridge, pour a cold glass of water, and drink it down in one refreshing gulp. That cool feeling seems to awaken every sense, giving the illusion of an energy boost. But for older adults, that early morning gulp of cold water, seemingly harmless, can quietly shock the body. After a long night of rest, your body's temperature is stable and gentle. Introducing cold water suddenly, especially straight from the fridge, creates a sudden temperature contrast that causes blood vessels to constrict. For seniors whose cardiovascular systems are less adaptable, this can trigger lightheadedness, headaches, or sudden blood pressure changes. Cold water can also irritate the stomach, which has been asleep all night. Many people experience mild abdominal discomfort, nausea, or a chill in the belly after drinking cold water first thing. For those with pre-existing conditions such as gastritis, irritable bowel syndrome, or weak digestion, the effects are even more pronounced. Cold. Water also impairs the function of digestive enzymes, which need warmth to work effectively. If icy water floods the system early in the day, your body must expend energy to rewarm everything, slowing down digestion, leading to bloating, indigestion, or even a loss of appetite for breakfast. What's important to note is that many drink cold water upon waking not out of habit, but because they feel very thirsty. Yet thirst is simply the body's call for water, not cold. We often assume that cold means refreshing, but forget that at this age, the body needs gentleness more than stimulation. So instead of rushing for chilled water, prepare yourself a warm glass. Not hot, not cold, just comfortably warm to soothe the throat and gently awaken the circulatory system. If you like, add a thin slice of lemon, a few drops of honey, or some fresh ginger strands, and that simple glass becomes a loving greeting to every cell in your body. You can even turn your morning hydration into a small ritual. Pour the water, sit down, take a deep breath, sip slowly. It's no longer just drinking water. It's an act of self-love. And you'll feel the difference. Clearer thoughts, a warmer belly, a smoother mouth, and a body gently unlocked after a night of rest. Ask yourself, am I drinking to quench my thirst or to care for my body? And you'll know which glass of water to choose. Growing older doesn't require intense sensations. Instead of cold water shocking your system awake, let warm water gently do the same. Because the most healing things often don't come from the very cold, but from what's just warm enough. A glass of warm water in the morning doesn't just soothe your throat. It soothes your entire rhythm of life, which is now slower, deeper, and more reflective. And that is how you begin a new day in love. Not with the world, but with yourself first. 10. Veggie void. In many older adults' breakfast routines, you'll find bread, eggs, porridge, noodles, maybe even coffee or milk, but rarely vegetables. Greens are usually reserved for lunch or dinner, seen as a side dish, a supplement, rarely as a companion to breakfast. But this very habit makes us unintentionally miss out on one of the golden keys to aging gently and healthfully. Vegetables aren't just a source of fiber. They are rich in vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants that help fight aging, support digestion, and regulate blood sugar. For seniors, starting the day without vegetables is like stepping outside without an umbrella on a sunny day. It may seem fine, but the body quietly bears the discomfort. Fiber from veggies softens stools, reducing constipation, a common issue in older age. Greens also slow sugar absorption, stabilizing blood glucose throughout the morning. Even a small portion of vegetables at breakfast helps the stomach work more gently and clears the mind, thanks to B and C vitamins, folate, and unique plant compounds. But out of old habits, many think vegetables are for the main meal, or breakfast should be simple. Washing veggies is a hassle. Yet all it takes is a handful of pre-cooked greens from the day before, a few slices of cucumber or tomato, or even a veggie smoothie, like spinach blended with banana and nut milk, to turn breakfast into a nourishing gift. Skipping veggies also removes color from the plate, and from your mood. A plate of eggs and toast looks completely different when brightened with fresh lettuce or juicy tomato slices. A bowl of oatmeal becomes more inviting with pumpkin or root vegetables. It's not just visually appealing, it makes you feel cared for, cherished in the little things. Try listening to your body after a veggie-filled breakfast. You may feel lighter, more regular, less bloated or weighed down. That's your body gently thanking you. Each bite of morning greens is like a fresh, cool, tender greeting to your stomach. intestines, liver, and even your soul. If change feels hard at first, begin with small steps. Add cucumber slices to your sandwich, mix raw greens into your omelet, or cook veggie porridge enough for 2 days. Vegetables don't need to be abundant, just present, like an old friend showing up at the right time reminding you, hey, you've been missing something good. Growing older is about simplicity, but that doesn't mean cutting out nourishment. Vegetables, though modest, are an essential part of maintaining health and emotional well-being in old age. And breakfast, with just a bit of green, is a way to water your mind, helping you begin your day gently, clearly, and full of hope. Vegetables don't just feed the body, they nurture your belief in a kind life, beginning with the smallest of things. You may forget a few things you've heard today, but if you remember only 2, let them be these: don't skip breakfast. And don't start your day with an empty stomach, one filled with grease or overloaded with sugar. Because breakfast, when done right, can be your faithful companion, helping to stabilize blood pressure, balance blood sugar, soothe your stomach, and even lift your mood for the entire day ahead. On the other hand, eating the wrong way, or not eating at all, will make your body speak up. Not in words, but in subtle signals: fatigue, restlessness, bloating, or vague headaches with no clear cause. You don't need to change your entire breakfast habit in a single day. Just one small shift: swapping cold water for warm, adding a few leaves of greens to your toast, eating one less egg, or delaying your cup of coffee until after a light meal. These small changes, repeated daily, will bring big results, not only for your digestion, but for your heart, your memory, and your sleep in the days to come. Because no matter your age, you can always begin again. And there's no limit to living well, if you start with kindness to yourself. You've walked a long road in life, so you deserve to live with clarity, with peace, and with the love that comes from the smallest acts of care. Breakfast, when done gently, isn't just a routine. It's a quiet ritual where you tell your body, we still have today, and I want to begin it with tenderness. If tomorrow morning you're unsure of what to eat, try starting with a warm glass of water, a bowl of vegetable porridge, and a slice of fruit. Simple, easy, and your body will thank you. If you found this video helpful, please click subscribe to Senior Compass so we can keep walking this gentle path together, every week with one peaceful topic for your golden years. And if you saw yourself in anything that was shared today, please leave a comment. I will begin with, so you can mark the moment your new journey begins, because aging is not what slows us down. It's what helps us see more clearly, live more mindfully. And beauty is never in the number of years, but in how we cherish ourselves each morning.